Welcome to the AfterBuzz with your host, Brandon Coates.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so it got put on the Facebook if you're watching this live. We're apologizing for any choppiness in the video or anything like that because let's just say the computers we're working with here aren't top-notch.
Yeah, they don't really cooperate with Facebook as well as they do with YouTube.
Yeah, so anyway, we apologize for any choppiness in the video if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching it on YouTube, hopefully everything gets uploaded. Pretty cool. So anyway, just a couple of topics today. Again, if you're watching this live on Facebook, you are more than welcome to join the conversation. You can type things into the chat. Scott and I are looking at that frequently throughout the entire AfterBuzz. So if you have a question, a comment, or anything like that, put it in there. And we try to address as much as we can in the actual comment section. So the first thing I want to talk about today, streaming services. Because we kind of jumped on the topic today on the show because Disney, I guess, is coming out with their own streaming service, which sucks. Because now a lot of the things that, like, I want to watch, like the Marvel movies and stuff like that, I mean, they haven't confirmed that, specifically going away, but Doctor Strange, Rogue One, Captain America: Civil War, these Marvel/Star Wars movies that Disney technically owns could be taking them away and then putting them on their own streaming services when I already paid for Netflix and Hulu and Sling TV.
This is where things are going to get just as ugly as cable. And then you'll be paying for like 19 different streaming services to get what you actually want.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm not a big fan of because the whole point was like when I moved here to El Paso, I decided I wasn't going to pay for cable. It's just not something I wanted. So I looked up Sling TV, which is technically owned by Dish Network, but I've been pleased with it so far. It's $20 a month. I got the Fox package. I used to have the ABC package that had ABC, Freeform, ESPN, but I realized I didn't watch any of that stuff. I'd watch ESPN for live football games, and that was it. So I switched over to the Fox one that has like Fox Sports and FXX, and because FXX and FX are probably that's two channels that I watch kind of the most. So, like, what point are we going to get to here, Scott? What do you have? Like, do you have Netflix? Any like?
See, I got the cord. I have Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon.
Oh yeah, and I have Amazon too. But that's also I actually signed up for it for the free 2-day shipping.
I keep thinking, yeah, that too. I also think I might do YouTube Red, just to skip ads.
See, I don't. I mean, I use YouTube a lot, but I anticipate the ads. I'm perfectly okay with it.
Here's the situation though. Like you can see here, this is like the health of our stream. You see it keeps cycling through different colors here. Like red is not good, green is like. America needs better internet. Rant over.
Yes, we do. So yeah, so it's kind of getting to the point now with all the different streaming services. But for what we have at my house, between myself, my girlfriend, and her daughter, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Sling TV, it all works just fine. I wish we had faster internet service at the house, but the only thing available is a DSL service, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But it's it's not at the end of the world. I can still watch all the shows that I want. That's why I was glad when Sling TV ended up getting FX and FXX available. And I switched it in the morning. Guess when it became available? When I switched over the package from the ABC one to the Fox one.
Like immediately?
Yes.
That's
like immediately.
Delicious.
So yeah. So I mean, it's kind of one of those like, what are we going to do here at this point with the streaming services? Are we going to get to where? But then again, Disney kind of owns everything, don't they?
Pretty much.
So there would really be them, the Netflix, and whatever. So if you have any comments or anything on that, you're more than welcome to put them up on the chat there.
Yeah, and hey, let us know what the internet is doing with this video if you're watching on Facebook Live, if like it's choppy or not. And let us know how you feel about that. Like, do you mind watching it choppy, or would you rather wait and just see it on YouTube? Do you mind doing both? Just like give us a little feedback.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is if we're streaming and recording this at the same time, So, and that's kind of what is causing the glitches here on Facebook and why, like, if it's lagging. If you guys don't mind it, we'll continue doing it that way. If you don't like it, then we have to eliminate the live portion of this, so you can't chat along with us, and just, we record it, do the topics, and then we put it up on YouTube. Yeah. So if you hate the choppiness, but you want to keep the chat, you have to decide between the two, because right now we can't do both.
Until October, and then we're back to where we were. We'll be fine again.
Yeah. So anyway, Shane Diesel asks, how was it? He's thinking of cutting the cord. He pays $120 for internet with TV, $190. I love it. Like, yeah. With internet, just the things that I have,
zero regrets.
I haven't looked back, especially with Sling TV, considering it's $20 a month for the standard package. You can get both the ABC and the Fox. I'm not really sure what the price is on that one, but you can have both. You can only have one device on at a time, though. So if you have like an iPad and like an Amazon Fire Stick, only one of them can be watching Sling TV at a time. It's not like Netflix where you can have a couple of different devices watching it. You can purchase more. Like, you can, for extra money, you can have it so that you can watch both. But the standard package, you're not allowed to watch on more than one device. For $15 is what I pay for HBO, so it's $35 total for Sling TV, and it comes with all the channels that I watch anyway, along with HBO, so I can watch Game of Thrones.
I'd rather Disney just buy Netflix.
Yeah.
Can we just start doing that? Like, this is the one time when, like, corporations gobbling each other up could be a good thing for the consumer.
Yeah. And so, okay, so speaking of HBO, Game of Thrones, there was multiple times in that episode on Sunday I was talking to myself out loud. I was at the house by myself, and like when the dragon first showed up, all the different, like multiple different times that I was really geeking out over that scene. And it sucked. Like, this is legitimately what happened on Sunday night. I'm sitting there watching TV, and the episode ends. Credits roll. And it felt early. Like, as intense as that final, like, 20 minutes of that episode was, it still felt like it ended early. So as I was sitting there, I looked up at the clock on the wall, and I noticed it's only 7:50. And out loud, to myself, to nobody else, I go, what the fuck? They still had 10 minutes. Like, literally out loud to myself, I said that. But I also posted a blog that's at buzzadamshow.com. It's got a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff of specifically the loot train scene, loot train attack, or loot train battle, I think is what they called it. So it's got a bunch of, like, an inside look at that. And I said in there, if them having that episode only like 50 minutes meant that I got that final 20 minutes, I'm perfectly cool with it, because it was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was so awesome. Oh my god!
So you waited all the way until Sunday to watch it, because I streamed that bitch like on Wednesday or Thursday.
Ah, no. See, I preferred. I was gonna wait.
So like the way I think about it is, like, I'm already paying for HBO. I'm still gonna pay for HBO either way. I just figured, like, that's just a fast way for me to get something that I've already paid for, so I didn't feel bad about pirating the fuck out of it.
Going back to Sling TV, Blanca says that she has several TVs. I think she's talking about Sling TV. I'm not talking about having it linked to multiple TVs. I'm saying watching at the same time. Because if you have the standard package on Sling TV, if you're watching TV in one room and somebody else wants to watch something on Sling TV in another room, you can't have them both on at the same time. You can upgrade, and I think there's packages that it might come in for free for right now, but you can actually upgrade to that. But the standard package, you can only, because I remember I would be watching a football game on my Xbox, and then I would want to switch over to my iPad as I was going to bed. If I turned on the iPad, it would immediately come up with an error message that said your account's already being used.
You're
not allowed to use it. So it's not that you can't have it linked. Like, Netflix has, like, the standard one has like 6 devices that you can have your account loaded onto, or something like that. But you can also watch multiple times, or like have people watching multiple things at the same at the same time on Netflix. Sling TV, I don't believe you can. At least on my account, you cannot. So anyway, so that's streaming. Game of Thrones, awesome, fucking fantastic. And then another thing I wanted to do while we were jumping on this is I was hoping Nico could stick around, but he had to leave. was the CD collection that I have, which I'm selling my CDs. By the way, if anybody wants to buy some CDs, fucking hit me up. Brandon at BuzzAdamShow.com. I got a lot of them to sell.
Yeah.
Buzz picked out all of my like the Wu-Tang stuff and all the hip hop stuff, and Nico picked out he just took all the System of a Down CDs out.
Yeah.
I don't even think I have all the System of a Down.
I got some Beastie Boys and I finally got a copy of The Wall by Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah,
which I've
never actually owned.
But I've never actually owned a copy of it.
So he pulled out the double CD of The Wall. Buzz bought my copy of Dark Side of the Moon. And basically everything that's in there, it's a lot. It's rock from like mid to late '90s till probably 2005, 2006, but maybe up to 2010, because I used to buy a lot of CDs. A lot of the stuff that I bought was hip hop, and then a vast majority. I have multiple non-point CDs. Ivan's asking in the chat here if I have any non-point. I've got. I think I even have a clean version of their first album. But again, working in radio, you get we had it for the radio station.
Yeah.
So that's when Nico he wanted to like poke fun at the collection on the air, and I'm like, you can go right ahead, but you got to remember, I've been in radio for almost 20 years now.
Yeah. And
I worked at a college station, which is a free CD bonanza when you're the program director and the music director of the station, which I was. And then at the first radio station I went and worked at, we got free CDs in all the time. Then I moved to Florida, and we got free CDs there. I don't think I bought a CD in probably 10 years. I think one of the last CDs I bought was a used copy of Filter's Title of Record.
Wow.
That might have been one of the last ones I bought.
I can't think of the last time I bought a CD.
And other than that, I think it's all pretty much been free. But yeah. So is there a list on our site of this? No, I'm not gonna. There's not gonna be a fucking list.
Make your request.
I'm still not exactly sure how I'm gonna unload all these CDs, but there's about 1,500 of them sitting in there, and it's everything like Buzz said, like the new metal stuff. That was a lot of the stuff that we got in. There's Korn, there's Limp Bizkit, there's just anything that was big from like 1997 till about 2005, maybe 2010. Is in there. I'm trying to think of some of the other bands. Static X, I own a lot of the Static X ones. Chevelle, there's a lot of Chevelle in there. Breaking Benjamin. Like a lot of the stuff you probably hear on the radio station that you tune into on the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Adrian Diaz wants to know if I collect vinyl. I do not. I actually sold 3 vinyl records at the garage sale I had a couple of weekends ago.
Nice.
It's just random ones that our boss here had sent to us. So he was like, "Do you want them?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then they sat in a box, and I unloaded them. I think I sold them for like $2 a piece or something like that. I don't even remember what they were. One of them was Social Distortion. That's all I remember. All the other ones, no idea. I just wanted it the hell out of the house. Like that's to the point now where I'm like, just get this crap out of here, and that's it. Because there's still boxes and stuff, and moving is just super stressful and a pain in the ass. Any Rammstein? I don't think Ashley asking if I have any Rammstein in your collection. I don't think I do.
I think you had one, unless Buzz.
I think there's a single. In there.
Yeah.
But I don't have the album with Du Hast on it. I don't think. No, keep asking. You can always shoot me an email, Brandon@BuzzAdamShow.com, if there's a particular band that you can think of that was big between, like, let's say 97 to 2007, that I could have the CD, and you can come down to the station and buy them if you want. But yeah, so the house, there's still boxes and crap everywhere. I'm still organizing things. I think I'm going to unload, like I'm going to go to the Goodwill and just drop off like 15 pairs of shoes. They're just sitting there.
Damn, son. Yeah. What you doing with all them shoes?
I'm really particular about clothes, which is why I always wear the same thing every day, because once I lock into something that I like, I don't deviate from that. Nice. And so the same thing happens with shoes, the same thing happens with jeans, t-shirts, whatever it may be, and that's why once I find something I like, I buy multiples of that, and I basically look like I'm wearing the same thing every single day, which I technically am because I wear the same pair of jeans every day. And so I have all these different shoes where I was like, oh, let's try these shoes or these ones. And I'll wear them for like a week to 2 weeks and I don't like it. So I just stash them in the closet. So these just like unworn shoes. Puma is a big one that I was going through for a while.
Wow.
Although some were worn pretty good. There's one pair of Pumas that I think actually legitimately have a hole in the bottom. I know they at least leak because my socks would be soaked when we were done. Ashley asks Rob Zombie. I got a bunch of Rob Zombie in there.
Yeah, I think Buzz took some, but
I think he took a couple of them, but I got a crap load of Rob Zombie in there. And White Zombie as well. Actually, this was another topic I was going to bring up, was like the first CDs you ever bought. And
man.
I can think of a few. The first ones I ever bought, I remember, I think the first CD I personally purchased at a store it wasn't really a single because it still had like 6 or 7 songs on it, maybe 5. Green Jello.
Oh wow!
Remember with the three little pigs?
Yeah.
And I went and I wanted, because of the video, I was on MTV. It was everywhere. It was on all the time. I think I might have been in 7th grade, and I wanted to go purchase. The full length, but there's like a curse word in it or something like that. Or like there was even a curse word in the name of one of the songs, and that we were at the store, and that's when my parents were like, "No, you can't have that one." So I grabbed like the single or whatever they called it. The EP is basically what it was, and I was like, "What about this one?" They were like, "Yeah, okay, go ahead." So that's one I remember purchasing first. I remember House of Pain was a CD that I bought really early on. There was another one that was in my head that I just completely forgot about. Blanca says, we don't want to know what hers is. Yes, we do. Yeah. Please share in the chat. You can't say that and not tell us. That's like laughing to yourself and saying, that's like laughing to yourself and be like, oh, I just thought of something funny. You have to tell everybody now.
Don't be a tease, Blanca.
Adrian says, look for Buzz to wrap the CDs and give him his Christmas gifts. I don't think he's going to do that because I think he legitimately wants to listen to some of the stuff because he doesn't know any of it.
He said he had a black girlfriend once who said he needed more rap CDs to bone to.
Yes, that's exactly what he said as he was picking through all the CDs. Blanca, it was Boys to Men. What's embarrassing about that? That was probably a lot of people's first CDs.
Yeah. Oh, I can top that.
Ooh, all right.
You ready?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. I don't know what it was. I just decided when I was 13, like, I'm getting into music. Bam. Like, I just made a decision.
Okay.
Right? I started watching like MTV and VH1, and I didn't, I got a CD player. Like, I don't know what to get. And a friend of mine said, that new Janet Jackson CD is pretty good. So that was my first CD, was Janet Jackson.
Wow. Which one?
The one with her like half naked on the cover.
Oh, the one where is that the one where her arms are up and you guys hold their boobs?
That's right. Yeah, and with all the sexy songs on it, it was nice. And then after that, I joined BMG Music Club. Do you remember the music clubs?
Oh yeah.
12 CDs for a penny.
And then you're on the hook for like another 20 at double price.
Exactly. And so I didn't really know what to get, so I got a lot of CD versions of stuff from my dad's record collection. But my dad was like, you should always, if you're getting free CDs, you should always get one that's just like a joke CD. So I don't know if you guys remember that Chanting Monks CD, like the Gregorian chants.
Yeah. Did you have that?
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
I don't still have it.
Oh, that would have been great.
But it was definitely like one of the first CDs. I actually used it in college to go to sleep. Like if I just I couldn't sleep, I'd put that really low. Yeah, knock you the fuck right out. So.
We got some people in the chat here chiming in. Matt Turner says that he's not proud of it, but Voodoo Glow Skulls would be his first CD. Jessica says her first CD was Creed. I had some friends, their first CD was Creed. They were obsessed with Creed back then. And I think I have one in my collection. I can't remember which one it is.
I never liked Creed.
Ivan says that his first album was Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. That was when...
You could do worse.
That was when I went on like a major spending spree with a lot of different things. Like I remember I went to the store, I bought Redman's Docs Da Name album and Limp Bizkit's Significant Other at the same time.
Nice.
Because then what happened is I didn't know which one I wanted to listen to, so it was a constant battle in my own brain of which CD do I want to put in at this point.
Did you have a CD changer?
Oh, hell no. I didn't have a CD player in my car until like 2005.
Wow. Yeah, me neither.
No, I take it back.
I had the portable one with the cassette tape.
Yeah, and like you had the little stand you'd put on your dashboard that would let it float to keep it from skipping.
Yeah.
That was bullshit, by the way.
It was bullshit.
No, actually, I take it back. I had a CD before that because the car that I had in Portland back in the early 2000s had a tape deck, so I would just record the CDs to the tapes, and then I would use cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And then I think my cousin got a new CD player, and he knew that I was still rocking the cassette tape. And he's like, I'm not doing anything with this. Do you want it? And he just gave me his CD player. So that's how I ended up with a CD player that I could actually listen to my CDs.
It was always funny. Like, I'm always like one step behind when it comes to cars. So it was like when I first got my first car, tapes were on the way out, CDs were on the way in. Didn't have a CD player. Then I got
That's exactly what's happened to me.
Yeah, and then I got a CD. Then finally I got a car with a CD player. Well, CDs are on the way out. I got an iPod now, but no way to connect it, so I had to use the little tape adapter.
I tried that too, and it never worked.
It was always shitty. I also had one of those the little radio things where you tune your radio to a certain frequency and it would broadcast on that frequency.
That was the one that I tried, and it never worked. Because I had a first edition iPod Touch.
Oh,
I still use it to this day.
Oh, yeah, me too, yeah.
And I tried to do the one where you tune it to like 85.5 or whatever the hell it is on your radio dial, and it never came in because down in Florida, this is when I tried this down in Florida, that's all taken up by illegal Cuban stations.
Oh, cool.
So I pop it in and I'm listening, and all of a sudden and then you hear some rant about Castro or something like that.
Nice.
But yeah, so if anybody else has any good first CDs that you purchased, please, by all means, put them into the YouTube chat. Because I remember I didn't buy it, but one of the first CDs that I owned, it was a gift from my grandma. It was like a classical CD because I was in band through junior high. So, and it was like a big, I don't know, it was big band or, it was a lot of trumpets and horns and stuff like that. Chris says that his first CD purchase was Skilo's I Wish.
Whoa!
Was that I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with the bat and a 6'4" Impala.
See, you don't even need it. You don't even need the CD anymore. You just got Brandon.
Exactly. I'll just rap it for you.
That's great.
And that was another agreement that Buzz and I had. So as he's going through the CDs, there's a bunch of like hip hop singles in there that have instrumental versions. So Buzz is like, hey, if I buy this stuff, these ones that have instrumentals, you need to write raps to for the show. So I'm on the hook. So eventually at some point you're going to hear me rapping on the show again.
It's going to be great.
With stuff that I have written specifically for the show. Another CD that I remember buying really early on was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Code Red. Do you remember which one that one was? Remember the song Boom Shake 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 the Room?
Yeah.
And they kept trying to do this thing in the video where he's like throwing his hands like this, where it's like boom, like that thing. Own it, bought it. This guy. I don't even know how old I was for that one. But yeah, so oh man, I'm trying to think if there's any other just really obscure things. I would also go through, I went through this phase where if I liked somebody or a band, if they were on another album or if they were on anything else, I was going to buy that album.
Oh, yeah.
If they were on a soundtrack, per se. Like there's an album I own. I think it's an album, oh shit, I can't remember what the hell the album is. But it's a movie soundtrack.
Oh.
And the song is Q-Tip and Jonathan Davis from Korn. I found that just randomly, bought it. It was like $20, literally for the one song. And I don't think I've ever really listened to it. Or wait, no, was it Exhibit? Might have been Exhibit, not Q-Tip. Anyway, but that's the kind of shit that I would do. Is I would go and literally see like, oh, like this is somebody that I like. I would buy an entire album as long as it had one song from them on.
See, I was a huge boxed set fan. I would buy boxed sets by anybody. Because I figure if I'm going to get into a band, I might as well just get everything at once. Because I was in high school and I was mowing lawns. And what else am I going to spend this money on? Certainly not women. So I would buy these box sets. So I had the box sets from like Led Zeppelin, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. I had their box set.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
What else? Oh man, box sets with the Who. That's a great box set. I used to have all of those, man. And I was such a nerd about how I sorted them all, like so they could go in certain places.
See, no, mine were always just straight up alphabetical. Like, what was the movie with John Cusack?
High Fidelity.
High Fidelity, when they're like, how are you organizing your vinyls? And like they have this big deep conversation about it. No, mine was standard. It was all alphabetical.
Mine, I had a whole system going on.
Matt brings up the Deftones White Pony album, and I had a copy of that. I think Buzz bought it. Or did you put that one back?
I don't know.
I have a copy of it here, but that album, the fact that one is the one that has the song Passenger that they did with Maynard from Tool. Fucking boom. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. Ivan says the first soundtrack he bought was The Crow. I got a ton of soundtracks. Like Nico brought up the Juice soundtrack. I don't even. Oh, you know what? Now I do remember why I have that one. So there was a friend of mine who he was like a radio DJ at this college that he was going to, and it was one of those really basic ass radio, like where they just kind of let you just jump on the air.
Yeah.
Like you really don't have to do a whole lot. Like me. Ours was an actual radio program where you had to go to classes and stuff like that. His was just, he was getting his degree for something else, and he brought back these the double CD cases, like the big fucking gigantic ones where you just kind of slid the CDs in. He had like 4 of those things filled.
Damn.
And he let us pick through them, and I think that's how I ended up with the Juice soundtrack. Because he was like, yeah, just take whatever you want.
Man, I don't know. I can't think of the last CD I bought. Like, I'm seriously trying to...
Chris in the chat here, he's saying, what was the last CD that you purchased? His was Wu-Tang Iron Flag. Not the last one, but I do own Wu-Tang's Iron Flag. At least I think I used to. Now Buzz technically owns it. But I think for me, my last CD that I purchased was a used copy of Filter's Take a Picture. I think that's the last one I bought.
I know which... Oh, I got the... I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and I got the mono box set for Christmas for Bob Dylan.
For Christmas, or did you buy it? Because I think that's the question.
Oh no,
I've gained CDs.
No, so my last one would be I got the Beatles mono box set. I did buy that.
Okay, so you actually went and purchased it. Yeah. Okay, I think because that's kind of where it's a little bit different. Like I've gained CDs since then, where through either working at the radio station, getting them, people giving them to me, whatever the case may be. Like the burnt copy of Killer Mike that Nico said. There's a few burnt copies of stuff in there. Oh, and apparently there's a whole bunch of family videos on CD that I can't know. Scott's picking them out, and Buzz is like, anything in the box I can buy.
You could have been buying your home videos.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to find, man? But yeah, so anyway, we're going to wrap this thing up here in about 60 seconds, depending on what you guys want to bring up. If you guys have any other interesting CDs that you've bought, any questions that you want to bring up on the Facebook, in the Facebook chat, let me know. But the final thing I was going to talk about today was I've now become obsessed with Twilight Zone.
Really?
Yes, like I've been watching it already because it's on Netflix, the original 4 seasons. And yesterday I got home. We finally got the back room kind of organized to where there's a TV back there and a bed and stuff like that. So if I want to go take a nap, I can go back there and take a nap.
Gotcha.
And I popped on the Twilight Zone. And I just I was just enthralled, and I was only on episode 2, because if you remember, the first episode is the one where it's this guy who ends up in this town, nobody's there, and he's freaking out, and he's becoming like he's going crazy from being alone, but deep down he's actually in this I think it's like a drug-induced coma.
Oh yeah.
And so he's dreaming it all, and they all go nuts, and what else? There was the second episode. It had the dude from oh shit. He was a big Disney guy back in the day. Like he was in a lot of Disney things. So basically, Death shows up to here. I'm going to spoil the second episode. Right?
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, Death shows up because they tell him, "Hey, by the way, it's your time." And he ends up making a deal with Death that Death kind of gets duped into. And Death is not happy about that. So and basically he needs to put a pitch together. He's like, he was a pitch man. Like he would carry around the briefcase with stuff in it, and he's like, I haven't given like the pitch of a lifetime yet, a pitch for the Angels. I haven't done that yet, so you can't take me until I get to that point, because when Death is going over the rules, there are exceptions that can postpone your death when he's talking to you. Like, do you have something that you always wish that you would have done? If it's kind of attainable, then it is. And Death gets duped into making this deal, so the guy's like, well, I'm just never going to do a pitch again, and I'll get to live forever. So
pretty sweet deal.
Ultimately, Death comes back, and he's like, well, I had to make other arrangements. Sorry. And this girl gets hit by a car in the street.
No!
So Death is going to... And this guy... was never married, never had kids, but he was always like kind of the guy that the kids looked up to in the neighborhood.
Huh.
And he like had a good relationship with them, and Death is basically telling him, I'm going to start killing off all these kids if you don't go back on this bet.
That's fucked up though, because like he's just one person. How come he's got like multiple kids? That doesn't cancel.
Well, they only get to the one girl, and ultimately what happens is the guy, Death shows up, and Death is like, yeah, I have an appointment at midnight. And because the girl's like in the bed in the apartment, he's like, at midnight, like he's saying, I'm taking this girl. And the guy ends up doing a pitch that lasts past midnight. The bells start going off, and Death is like, you duped me. Okay, she's gonna live. And then the guy is finally like, okay, like I gave my pitch for the Angels.
Right.
You can take me, and then they walk away, and that's the ending of the second episode of Twilight Zone. Fucking sweet. So, if you can, go to Netflix. I don't know how long it's going to be available there, because Lord knows if Disney buys it out, what the hell they're going to do with it. No, I highly recommend, go back and watch the old episodes of Twilight Zone. It's awesome. And if you want some CDs, email me what you're looking for. Anything from 2007, or 97 to 2007, it's a good possibility that I have it back there.
Yeah, it's a pretty sizable collection. 2 massive boxes.
like big-ass boxes. But on that note, Scott, you got anything left to say?
Sex. No, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. We will see you on Facebook Live tomorrow morning again.
Yes.
We're just going to continue to do that?
Yeah, that's working out pretty well in the studio there. So, if you like the page, you should get a notification when we go live.
Yeah, so go like the Buzz Adams Show Facebook page. You'll get a notification when we're on live. That's how we're going to be streaming. If you notice that the stream stops right around 9 o'clock Mountain Time, that's because there's a 4-hour time limit on Facebook Live. We're not allowed to do the full 5 like we did on YouTube. So that's why that gets cut off. But yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow on Facebook Live, and then next week for Next Week After Buzz.